dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. The bells on bobtail ring, they make our spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
At least we can talk about sports.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Sports for Friday, December 11th, 2015. Normally things don't get heated until the first segment, but right now we're toasty warm alongside this fire. I'm Mike McClung, this is Evan Olawani, this is Tyler Dobransky, and This Week in Sports is underway. We're going to start with the NFL Weekly Recap. What have we seen this week, guys?
What about the Patriots getting upset by the Eagles? How about that? I mean, Tom Brady, I guess he is human. He didn't have his receivers. He didn't have Gronk. Edelman's still out. Amendola came back, but he had a touchdown, but I guess that wasn't enough for Brady to come out with the win.
I really thought for the big thing with the Eagles is that they got a lot of pressure on Brady. I think it's crazy. The Patriots have like 26 different offensive lineman combinations this year, and I really think that's the center of their problems. Yes, Gronk helps and Edelman, but if they can't give Brady enough time, I don't think that any of this is even possible. So I really think it comes down to offensive line not being healthy, and that's where their success is just kind of falling down right now.
It's funny because both you guys talked about the offense. In their defense, they still put up 28 points. I mean, granted, the Eagles had a defensive touchdown. I believe a special teams.
The Eagles had a punting return for a touchdown.
Right.
They had a blocked punt for a touchdown, and they had interception 99 yards for a touchdown.
So there you go. I mean, that's the root of the problems, yes. But the offense, in their defense, still put up 28. I mean, yeah, if you're throwing three or you're getting three touchdowns.
But it was against the Eagles. I mean.
Yes, there's that.
But also Brady had 2 interceptions that game too. So yes, the offense still put up 28
points is still a good amount of points.
Yeah, but Brady wasn't Brady that game. He was average, lackluster that game, in my opinion.
You're not wrong, and I agree with that. But I'm just saying, there's problems on both sides of the ball for that team right now, and they're still a very good team, but they're not the great team that they were to start the year, especially with all the injuries mounting up, and we kind of expected that.
But I just think, if Gronkowski comes back this week, they're still not going to be the same Patriots. I really think it comes down to their offensive line getting better. When they get more healthy, Gronk, of course, he's going to give an outlet to Brady, but I still think it's mostly the offensive line that's hurting them, and they're just keep losing players like it's just, candy.
I agree. Any other big games?
How about the Panthers having a little scare in New Orleans? Saints almost took it to them. They blocked the punt on they blocked the extra point, took it back for the first time in the NFL history. They got the 2 points there. Drew Brees didn't have that bad of a game. Cam Newton, he was scaring me a little bit, but they got a job done, and they're 12-0.
Yeah, their defense looks very less than average for a team that's undefeated so far, and a team that's really, they've been strong on both sides of the ball, but their defense especially has been very strong, and I was surprised to see the Saints score that many points off them.
The big thing with me is that I saw the Patriots, they didn't give up. Newton didn't put his head down. They went out there and they got the job done. I think that what makes a quality team. And yes, they've shown with their record, but now this even proves that even in a tight spot, they still came out a win. I thought that was very impressive.
You guys knew I was going to do this. How about the Steelers? They looked really good that game.
Antonio Brown. How about Antonio Brown's celebration? He got fined $12,000. But
what was he thinking? That couldn't have felt good in the first place anyway.
Besides the fact that I think the Steelers had a very quality game. Antonio Brown had a punt return for a touchdown, I think, and he had a reception touchdown, had like 160 yards. Stat boy here. But
he had 2 touchdowns.
Two touchdowns and a punt return. But anyway, I think they had a very good game on the ground and through the air. Ben Roethlisberger, I think he's finally getting healthy, and they're a quality team, I think.
I think there's no doubt in my mind that the Pittsburgh Steelers have the best offense in the league. I think they have the best receiving core. I think DeAndre Williams is doing exactly what they wanted him to do. He's better than half the running backs, if not more, in the NFL right now, and he's 30-something years old. And I think this offense is so efficient right now. If they keep putting up those numbers and the defense does, okay, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and the thing that, to me, was most important about that game was the defense. We knew they were going to have a great offense when they all had the pieces in place. Even without Le'Veon Bell, they still have a great offense. But with that defense, to hold them to 10 points, granted, the Colts should have had more. They were in the red zone and went for it on 4th down a couple of times. But even for the defense to get those stops on 4th down and limit them to such little points is something that's really encouraging going forward because, when you play better teams, the Steelers are going to score a lot of points. And if you really have a nice cushion on defense, you only have to hold them to so many.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another game, the Giants blew another fourth quarter
Oh
lead.
my!
Should Coughlin be fired?
Coughlin's been in this case so many times with it. The Giants are just the Giants. Like I don't feel like they don't have any superstar players besides Manning. He's okay sometimes, and Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's their only person they ever throw to. I know they signed Akeem Nicks, but their offense I feel like is atrocious. Their defense is. I just think the Giants
Aside
are
from like the team itself, they're just blowing every fourth quarter lead they get. Like I'm not saying team of course, but like star players aside, they're blowing. They get leads and they blow them, and most of it's clock management.
How could you fire Coughlin? He's first place in the division.
No.
But that's not even
the worst division.
That's not even
They
the
should
division.
be 4 games ahead of everybody.
No, you're right.
It's just insane. It blows my mind how just simple clock management can be so poor on an NFL team.
But
Is this the worst division ever?
It's up there. I'd say so. It's up there.
Yeah.
They're all.
If Romo was healthy, the Cowboys would just be destroying, I think, every team.
I don't know
in
about
division.
that.
We saw him, and Romo makes that Cowboys team so much better.
But if you look at it in the first week, Roma only beat the Giants because of the poor clock management. He came back the one game, and they did end up losing, even though he got hurt halfway through. They were getting killed the whole game. It didn't really matter. I mean, yeah, would they be better? Absolutely. Would they probably be in first place? I think so. But I don't know if they're going to be that much above everybody else. Their defense has been so poor. Their run game has been not what we expected with that offensive line.
The thing is, their confidence is so much lower, I think, with a backup quarterback. When you're going to a game and when you're with a backup quarterback and they're 0-9 in the last 9 games instead of starting Romo, I think your confidence goes down there in a second. I think that's also hurting them.
I just think the Cowboys, without Romo, they don't have that leader they're used to having. I think the Cowboys just don't have an identity with the backup quarterback because we always talk about their offensive linemen, and coming into this year when they had Darren McFadden and Joseph Randall, who they cut already, they were like, oh, the running back's going to be fine. They'll have Dez, they'll have Romo, but without Romo, Dez got hurt. The running backs haven't produced.
Well, McFadden's been putting up 100 yards almost the last couple games. I mean, you can't say that he's not doing decent.
He's doing decent, but without their star, without Dez producing like he usually does, and without Romo, their offense is not as it should be.
And he's getting a lot of touches when you have a quarterback that can't throw the ball. No offense to Matt
And then
Castle
the defense is guessing, and they're splitting them and stuffing the run sometimes. So
who's going to win that division?
Eagles. You got to go with the Eagles. I don't know what to say. I
Bold
don't think
prediction.
the Giants can just win a game in the fourth quarter.
Redskins.
I don't like Kirk Cousins underneath the helm and going to like clutch times.
Redskins.
They're also bad, but somebody has to win. The Eagles, I'm not buying just because the only reason they won that game is, like you said, they got really lucky. Let's just be honest. They had a lot of defensive touchdowns, defensive plays.
But
that's not going to happen.
A win is a win.
It is, yes, this week they got the win, but that's something that's not going to be sustained throughout the year. I think I'm going to go with the Redskins. I picked them not too long ago, and I don't know. I don't think anybody else is going to do it.
But who can we all agree? Whoever gets into the playoffs out of the division, it's a 1 and out.
Yeah. Yes.
No team in that is going anywhere.
There's no way either of those teams are going to beat the
Eagles-
Vikings or the Seahawks in the wild card.
Eagles just beat the Patriots. Why can't they beat someone else?
Because it took them 3 defensive touchdowns to do it.
But listen, they still got the win. They won the game.
It took the Patriots not having Gronk, Edelman, like you said, a bad offensive line,
Oh well, poor Patriots.
and an average Tom Brady
I'm
to
an
win
Eagles
that
fan. I
game.
want to stick with them. If they can make it to the playoffs, they can maybe win 1 game.
I love how we all took opposite stance the first time when we talked about the Patriots. We all just kind of like switched our opinion.
That's life in the big city.
Well,
Oh
Evan
my
skipped
God.
to the Patriots early on in the show, so we're just going to move right on to baseball now. We're going to talk about the Diamondbacks' big free agent signings with Greinke, and then they traded for Shelby Miller.
I hate that trade. I don't like that trade at all. They traded Dansby Swanson, their first overall pick. If you have the first overall pick, you get the best player in the draft. Am I right? You're supposed to get the best player. You get Dansby Swanson, a shortstop. Who's their shortstop right now? No one knows. You could have.
I
know.
Who is it?
Nick Ahmed.
I just hope.
No one.
Can't hit.
What is it?
Dansby Swanson.
I hope he turns into an absolute stud. I really do.
I
just
do
hope it
too.
just backfires
Because
so much.
Shelby Miller was 6-17. Yes, he had a 3.02 ERA.
Yeah, Shelby Miller is not like a first round pick. Just in general.
You could have threw in the Marlins would have gave up Fernandez if they threw in Pollock
Fernandez is not worth Pollock. I can tell you right now.
But you would have had Greinke and Fernandez in your rotation?
Pollock is one of the best players in the league.
I don't
He's
know.
a budding superstar.
I don't know
Not
about
even-
that. I don't know about that.
You're just going to have to watch and see, I guess.
I don't like the
The
trade.
signing I like. I know it's a lot of money, but this team could not pitch at all. And they had the most runs scored in the National League last year. They just needed pitching. Their pitching was horrendous. If you bring Greinke, put him in front of a really good defense, give him a lot of hitting, he's going to win a lot of games for that team. That's really going to be, compared to what their pitching was last year, that's going to be a big boost in the wins department. Ender Inciarte was the major league player that they traded. He's the only real talent that was on the roster last year that now is gone. Dansby Swanson still is a major league ready, of course. So as of right now, they're getting better. If Swanson turns into a superstar, it's not going to work out. If he doesn't, maybe you get lucky. Right now, I don't think there's any debating that they got better by having two good pitchers in front of a really good offense and a really good defense. I think they're going to be in good shape this year. Did they trade away a lot of the future? It's possibly, but they're a very young team right now anyway. I'm not saying there's not room for Dansby Swanson, but I'm not too worried about right now. They're really committed to winning right now. I trust Tony La Russa. I think what they're doing is a good step in the right direction, and we're going to have to see how it plays out.
My question is, do you think they're now the playoff team at all?
No.
Do you think it's going to take them a couple of years? I don't think they're still a playoff team.
If they do make it this year, they'll make it as a wild card team. They won't win a division, in my opinion. But I think they won't make it this year. They'll make it the next year because I think they need one missing piece. Because they've signed Greinke and they traded for Miller, and they have Pollock, who's one of the best players in the MLB, according to Mike McClung. Yes, they have Goldschmidt, who's an MVP candidate.
Goldschmidt is one of the best.
An MVP candidate year in, year out, but I don't think they can make the playoffs.
They finished 4 games under 500 last year.
Okay.
They had 6 losses to Zach Greinke.
Okay.
So wait, let's just punch some numbers right here.
They're over 500.
They're above 500 team. The Dodgers have 6 more losses. I'm not saying that's going to put them over the edge, but if you had 2 really good starting pitchers to a team that was right around 500 in a division that just got worse because they're losing pieces as well, Giants really haven't done anything notorious in the offseason.
Remember when we went to the Mets Diamondbacks game?
This is completely irrelevant.
And we're like, okay, everyone pick a player who's going to have the first home run. I picked Justin Turner.
But you didn't.
Yes, I did. He was batting .091.
You picked Kirk Neuenhuis.
Oh, Kirk Neuenhuis, that's it. Justin Turner's on Dodgers. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, I picked Kirk Neuenhuis, batting .009. He had 3 home runs that game. And I felt like the smartest person in the world.
That's not relevant at all.
Why'd you have to put that?
Because the Mets just destroyed the Diamondbacks. Who was pitching that game?
For the Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
Ruby De La Rosa.
Is he still on the team?
Yes.
He should be cut.
He's a good pitcher.
He gave up 3 home runs to Kirk Neuenhuis.
I think the Diamondbacks are going to win the NL West. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan.
Prediction?
I don't think that's that bold at all.
I think it's very bold.
That is a very bold prediction.
You're here, and here's the bold prediction.
They were 500 last season, right around it. The Dodgers
they were
are
only
getting
500
worse.
if you take the 6 wins from Greinke. On
Dude,
paper,
dude,
they were
4 games.
They could have still lost to the Dodgers, though, with other pitchers.
It could have. But you never know. All right, if you think it's a bold prediction, that's a bold prediction. I think they're winning the NL West.
Okay. Have fun with that.
In my opinion,
I don't care. Just be disappointed.
They were only a couple years away from it anyway without Greinke.
Okay. Well, when you're done talking about your team, I think we should talk about the Mets.
Let's talk about the Mets then. Go ahead.
Do you like Neil Walker coming to the Mets?
No, I
Why?
hate it.
Why?
Because I don't like the guy. I don't,
Good reason.
I think who names their kid Neil? I just don't like the. I don't like Neil
You can't
Walker.
say that.
I don't like the.
Do you even
Neil,
know him personally?
No.
Just stop judging
What
him.
if his name was Cliff? Okay. Anyway, let's get back to. I just don't like it because Neil Walker, I think, is an average player. Yes, Daniel Murphy was an average player too.
This is the thing. They're going to get rid of Murphy. Basically, they're
Yeah,
signing
they're-
Walker. So Walker is a better fielder than Murphy.
Yes, he is.
Hitting. Honestly,
even,
in the
it's
regular
even.
in the regular season, it's probably going to be even because Murphy's just did great in the postseason. And now everyone thinks he's amazing. He's still an average player. I think Neil Walker can put the same exact stats up as Murphy. Better defender. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah,
and for
maybe-
John East, for a left-hander.
And
who-
what about the Pirates getting John East? How do you think about that?
I mean, he's a good left-handed pitcher, but he has a lot. He can go from a great game to an awful game in the span of 2 weeks. He's very inconsistent, and I don't like him as just because you don't know what you're going to get from him every day in and day out.
I'm still waiting for the Mets to make a big signing. You know, they don't have Cespedes anymore because he's a free agent. They outfield Granderson. Are they going to keep up? Well, I'm forgetting his name. The rookie. Oh my God!
Conforto?
Are they going to
Kirk
keep?
Neuenhuis.
That's who I was thinking. But are they going to keep Conforto up there and have him the everyday player?
I think he can be. I think they proved in the playoffs, or he proved in the playoffs that he can be the everyday player.
I just don't know. I feel like their outfield is shaky still. I mean, Wright is still a solid third baseman. Their first base with Duda is still questionable. Walker is now. All signs lead to him being the starting second baseman. They're just a shaky lineup right now.
Their pitching, it's going to be great. Let's be honest. We know it's going to be great. They have Zach Wheeler come back, too.
4 people who are...
And they're in negotiations with Bartolo Colon, bringing him back for, his 100th year. I love that guy. You can't get rid of him.
I like the Walker trade because maybe in Game 3 of the World Series, the ball won't go under his glove.
Well, maybe if the Diamondbacks made it to the World Series, you can talk. But
maybe if the Diamondbacks made it to the playoffs, you could talk.
They're going to make it this year.
We'll see.
All right. Who's won a World Series more recently?
Oh, wow. Okay, bring up that joke.
Let's just do that real quick. When was the last time the Mets won a World Series?
86.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
It's Gary Carter.
Okay.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
Okay.
College football now, we're down to the final 4 teams. We have Clemson. We got Oklahoma at 4. Clemson, Oklahoma are playing. And then we got Alabama and Michigan State at the 2-3. Who do we have in those games? Who do we have for the whole thing? And do you agree with it?
A lot of questions there. Let's just go with the seeding. They switched up Oklahoma and Michigan State. I was happy with that. I think Michigan State definitely proved that they are a 3 seed. But I think that's a better matchup. I think Michigan State against Alabama is a better matchup than Oklahoma-Alabama. I think Oklahoma would just get destroyed by Alabama, to be honest with you.
I think Alabama's going to beat Michigan State. That's my pick. Alabama is on a mission right now. Derrick Henry, after the first half of the year, did not know who he was. He had the game at LSU when he rushed for I'm not going to say a number because I'm going to be wrong, but he rushed for a lot, and he did it. It was his coming out party. He came out, and now he's Heisman finalist.
He's going to win the Heisman.
I don't think so.
He won the O'Brien last night.
He won the best player in the college football.
I think McCaffrey's going to win it.
No.
Everyone wants
McCaffrey. I got 2 bold predictions.
I want McCaffrey to win
I'd like him to win.
But Derrick Henry's going to win. All right, but anyway, I have Alabama in that, and then I got Oklahoma upsetting Clemson. After Clemson's scare with Iowa.
Clemson didn't even play Iowa. The stat guy. Clemson played North Carolina. And
they had
beat a very good North Carolina team, very underrated North Carolina
yes,
team.
But they could have lost. I don't see that onside kick.
Michigan State played Iowa. I'm sorry. But anyway, they played North Carolina, and the first half of that game, it was dead even. It was a close game.
Because they're both very good teams.
Yes, but number 1 overall should not have that. They should be blowing teams out. They're undefeated. They should.
Let's just save our final predictions for the Twist Holiday Show. Just want to just get that out there right now.
That's fair.
Let's not give that up, but let's talk about it. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure no spoiler alerts.
Okay. I just don't think Clemson is going to do well in the college football playoffs. Let's just say
that's a bold prediction. I think
you
you're
have
wrong.
one. I have a bold prediction.
Why is Oklahoma the overall favorite to win the whole thing?
Because last year Ohio State was the 4th seed, and look what happened.
That's completely different.
How is that different?
Ohio State got hot at the right time and played their way in. Oklahoma was at 3, and then they fell to 4, and now they're. I just don't see it the same way.
I guess they look at the matchups, and maybe they think they have an edge on Clemson or something. I don't.
I don't agree.
We're not the committee. I don't agree with it. You don't agree with it. Well, I don't know what you do.
Clemson hasn't lost. Just put it out there. All the other teams have lost. Clemson has not.
Clemson didn't have that hard of a schedule.
They just beat North Carolina.
Yes.
Clemson hasn't lost. The Warriors also have not lost. Still, we're how many games in the season now? I think they played 23. They're ridiculous.
The stat that impressed me most is that they haven't scored under 100 points all year. That's the thing that stands out to me above all.
The stat that impresses me the most, they're only supposed to be the underdogs 1 more game this year against San Antonio, but San Antonio is a great team, so that means they have them beating the Cavs the rest of the year. They have them beating the Thunder, even though
every other team.
Every other team. There's quality teams, though. I think that impresses me most of that they're a team. Steph Curry goes off 30 points a night, but even though even if he has a 19-point game like he has before, they still have pickups like Draymond Green with 25 a game, Klay Thompson with a 37 game.
He had 39.
39.
Stat.
Every time one of their stars doesn't produce, the other 2 pick up. The rest of their team picks up.
The fact is that their whole team is just stud team.
When do you have them losing?
I had them losing tonight. I don't know why. I already told you that. I'm going to stick with it. I don't know why. Just feeling it.
They're not going to lose tonight. They're not going to lose until – I don't think they're going to lose until after Christmas.
I think they'll go like 40-0.
That Cavs
bold
game is going to be a
prediction.
very good game, though, on Christmas Day, if
I
they
think
still
though
are
they're gonna.
undefeated.
I think they're gonna beat them. I really do.
I really think they'll go 40-0.
I don't know exactly who they're versed in 2 days after they verse the Cavs, but 2 games after they verse the Cavs, they're gonna lose.
Any reason for that?
No.
Okay. There is one thing, okay? So, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a stretch. They play the Celtics in Boston tonight, and then they fly to Milwaukee tomorrow for a tough game against a young, energetic team that's probably going to look to run all
We
over
just
them.
blew out the Knicks.
Right. Well, everybody's blowing out the Knicks right
No,
now.
I don't know about
Anyway,
that.
they're a young team. The Warriors are going to be tired. There are people making the case that that's a game that they could lose, and I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't know, for some reason I think they're going to lose tonight, but that's probably not true.
Well, Klay Thompson, I don't know if he's playing tonight. He had an ankle problem.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
I don't know. I don't.
He's
think that's
been
gonna
one
be
of the
that big
more
an issue,
consistent players I saw on SportsCenter. He in his career he's only missed 7 games so far. 7 games.
Stat.
So he's a game time decision. I feel like he will play.
He won't play. May not play as much because they'll probably blow them out and then just walk all over the Celtics.
That's bold.
Oh, bold.
It's
kind of
really
guy.
not that bold.
No.
I think I got 3 bold predictions in
I got
today's
one.
show. All 3 of them are coming true. I can guarantee that. That's going to wrap it up for This Week in Sports. This is Evan Alwani. This is our stat guy, Tyler Bransky, and I'm Mike McClung. Have a fantastic day.